Time to tinker and talk the night away. Grab your glue and paints, we're back again. It's model making day. From classic cars to soaring planes and steam trains on the track. Whether die-cast builds or part work kits, there's no turning back. So let's tinker and talk, just you and me, building dreams from plastic, one sprue at a time. You see, whether sanding down or fitting parts, we share the joy, that's how it starts. Come along, let's tinker and talk the night away. Oh, got a Mustang here and a Spitfire too, maybe a steam train. The smell of glue, the sound of chat, in this world we all remain. Got a tip or trick, then drop it in chat. We build as friends, not just fans. This bench is open, the stream is live. Come lend a helping hand. Yeah, we tinker and talk with laughs and care. The hobby's better when you've got good folks to share. From sanding wheels to fixing wings, we celebrate the little things. So come on in, let's tinker and talk the night away. Screws and glue, just me and you, talking shop till the model's through. A misstep here, a perfect fit. We cheer each other every bit. Let's tinker and talk under workshop lights, chasing calm and joy through long creative nights. From revel kits to die-cast dreams, we're builders, makers, part of a team. It's Tuesday night, let's tinker and talk the night away.
Good evening all, and welcome to another Tinker and Talk Tuesday. Rach, sorry, I think Brett just beat you to the punch there on Mr. White, but well done, Brett. Yes, it certainly was Mr. White, who was referred to as the Pale King in Spectre. Now, I am teasing you a little bit here, because I've got the car up here, but I'm not really doing anything with the car. Tonight, I'm actually going to probably build the engine, but I wanted to show off the dolly, which you can't actually see on that camera very well at a minute. But you can see that the car's raised up a little bit. Let's tweak that down a little bit. There we are. So we've got the paint trolley sort of partly built. There's still a little bit of work left, and I've got to paint it. If you saw my social media earlier, you've got a little bit of a picture. And I'll show you these in close up in a minute. But bring some little casters, which are currently holding the entire weight of the car up. So they're pretty strong. Hopefully they'll be strong enough. They should be the way I've designed them, and I'll show you that in just a second. Now, as I said in my comment earlier, I'm hoping I've got the car crash out the way already, because I kind of knocked off my Lego DeLorean, not Lego DeLorean, the Lego DB5, and it broke a little bit, but I've managed to quickly fix it back together with only one spare piece. So, win-win. But hopefully, nothing else will go wrong like that tonight. As I say, just going to be building the engine, which, in fact, I believe is only pack 2 of the Agora models DB5. So it should be fairly simple, and I'll show you why I've chosen to do the engine tonight, because of something that arrived this morning. So take it over to the workbench, and we'll get building. Button. Press the right button, and we can get building. You may also notice up here in the corner, yes, they are past 1,900 subscribers, so I figured I'd do a little bit of a celebration, and that's a live count. So if anyone subscribes tonight, then that will go up. Obviously, it doesn't count if you unsubscribe and then resubscribe again. Right, so I'm going to move the car off the dolly. And I'll quickly show you what I've been working on so far. Now you can see that the little casters I printed are not fixed in place at the moment. But this can actually extend quite a bit. And also these can move. So they can support a multitude of vehicles. And these little casters that I've printed, basically they're a solid bit of resin all the way through here. So the wheel is fixed. So it should support the weight of the car, no problem. And I've put this little square block on there which fits into these tubes really, really well. And I'll glue those in eventually. And then we also have these little bits that will go in, and they can go up and down. So you can actually adjust the height, both ends, side to side, etc., of the vehicle. So if you've got an uneven vehicle, maybe you've got an axle on one end, no axle on this end, you can actually have this up in the wheel wells, and this one just supporting the axle. So quite versatile. But not going to do anything with this one tonight, mainly because I haven't completely figured out how I'm going to get it all even. But I figured, as I've got that far, I'll do a quick show off for that one. Now, the thing that has made me do the engine tonight is this. Now, this is a little engine hoist. Now, if I just press that button and zoom in, let's get rid of Rachel's message. So this is an engine hoist. And yes, I could probably printed one, I could have built one. But when looking around for an STL file, I found that there was this already available for like RC workshops and things. And it's in actually a pretty good scale. I think it's said between 1/8 and 1/10 scale. But I think this should be absolutely perfect. So I figured we'll build this first. And it actually has little casters as well on this one. It is actually motorized as well, I noticed. Not going to motorize it. I don't know whether I'm going to cut that off or whether I'll leave it in place and try and disguise it a little bit. But don't know if that's a screw thread. I'm assuming that's going to be a screw thread. Yeah, it is. You can hear the motor in there. Right, so that's pretty much how it goes. So I figured I'd build this first, then we get onto the engine. Mainly because I didn't think this was going to take too long to do, but now I look at the instructions, it might be a little bit more complex than I thought it was. But that's always the fun with these streams, isn't it? There's definitely a lot more on here than I gave it credit for. Should have looked at it before the stream. Got one little bit of length of chain there. We expected probably more than that, to be fair. I'll probably end up getting some more chain for this. Right, so what do we need first? Let's go with this piece, which is going to go, presumably, into there. That way around. Let's go for the longest one we've got. Pop that in there. And then we should have a nut for that one. I might have to go find an Allen key. Although I might just loosely put it together and then I'll tighten them up a little bit later. So this frame, that's obviously going to go like that. Uh, 2x6. I haven't separated these out over, so I have no idea what they are. Yeah, it looks like a 2x6. So that's going to go into there. I did have a small anchor here. I don't suppose it's going to be the right size, is it? How amazing it is. Hey, Bergdis. Who else we got here? Mark, Chris, Evening. Hey, Ed. So how does that fix? Oh, I see. So are these all the same? I'm assuming they are. They look like they're all the same. Excellent, that makes it a little bit easier. Those must be the wheels. Right, so this is going to go that way up. And is it telling me what I'm securing that with? Not really. A small screw, probably. That's a short answer. Maybe that one. Must have 4 of the same, I guess, because we have 4 for the casters, won't we? So can I work that out? Try and group these together, I think. That's the same as that one. More than likely not going to be one of these long ones, is it? It's probably going to be for the casters. So I'm going to go on these short ones. I only seem to have 3 of those anyway. Nope, we've got 4 of them. Typical. Got these E-clips as well. 5 of those. Right, I'm going to go with the short one, I think. It's quite good, these are pre-threaded holes as well. Try and make sure that's straight. Now these are going to be some sort of supports, I think, for that, which is going to go one way around or the other. Assuming they're identical. One's one way, one's the other way. Okay. Let's see which way fits best. Picture doesn't really help. I'm going to go with that way. And I'm going to go with the short screws again, I think. Actually, that does say M2x4. So they're going to be... They look more like these ones. I'm not sure if I've got enough of those ones. That's definitely different to that one. Got two of those. And we've got two of those. So where do these... So the casters... The casters have got to be these ones, haven't they? Surely. And then we've got this one up here. That one goes there. Two by four, 2x6. Okay, so it would make sense if 2x6 are these longer ones, although that's like 2x10, isn't it? Or at least 10, surely. I can't see a 10. Right, let's say that's that one. That's that one. That means that's going to be the same. Can't pick it up. Which means leave those for the casters. That's what these pins are for. And we've also got these little collars, so they've got to be long enough for that. Which leaves me these four. One has to be for the top of that. And that leaves me three of those. Oh, what are these? Are they 2x6? No, they look too small. They must be fours. Which would be the 2x4s, presumably that goes at the top of here. Ah, I think I've got it now. Right, so not that. Not that. I think that's the 2x4. That's going to be the 2x6. So let's get those in with those ones. I really thought this was going to be an easy job. I haven't even looked at the engine parts yet. Maybe I should have just stuck with the engine. Yep, I'll remember. I'll forget first, come in, and then remember and go back out. I'm just trying to cover my back there. She has literally never asked me this at all, ever. So, take advantage, people. Right, so that's in there like that. Still not convinced that's maybe the right way around, but that'd be good enough. Unfortunately, I can't say anything other than Mike has shown me a little sneak peek of what's coming shortly. I can't even tell you which model it's for, but I do know something exciting is coming again. Everything from Mike is exciting, to be fair. All I can say is just keep an eye on the website. Right, this is going to go into this arm here. Is it going to go there? No, it's got to go here, isn't it, surely? This is going to be for the piston. And have you signed up for the Hello Kitty yet? That go that way or the other way? No, I think it goes that way. Have you got your injection molding machine yet? Right, so that's going to go there. Looks like we need one of these pins for that. 1, 2, 3. No, we need pins for the wheels. So make sure I've got 4 of those there. But I only seem to have 1 pin. And I'm sure I should probably have 2 at least. 1, 2, 3, 4 pins there. Oh, there it is. Excellent. Right, so this has to go through here. Hopefully. Why don't you go through? Are they different size pins? Get through that one. I just need to use a file just to get pins fit through there. Yeah, that's not going through. Hopefully this will sort it. That's why I just got to write everything down. I'm surprised you remember what you get through Ian, to be fair. Yeah, she's constantly talking. Right, that's going to be a problem. That's not going to fit through there. Might need to drill it. Definitely a pin that needs to go through there. Everyone, look, look. You can't complain at the amount of Mike Lane mods I have now. No, that's definitely not going to go through there. That's going to take quite a bit to go through there, I think. I'm going to drill it, I think. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just continue and I'll leave the piston out for now. And then I'll sort that off stream probably. Let's get the casters on. And then I'll probably just leave this because I'm sure you're more interested in actually the engine than the engine hoist. Excellent, Chris. I may send a workbench your way to print if you're still interested. I might need to design it first though. These casters are pretty good. Where's the other collar? There is. We should have another short screw, shouldn't we? Did I use all the short screws? One, two. There are 5 or 6. I thought it worked it out that I had the right amount. Definitely needs to be a short screw, I know that much, because the long screw won't go in any further than that. They don't give you an inventory list. Don't think I can take the screw from anywhere else. I have a feeling one of these is too long. I'll try it. I'll give it a go. If not, I'm sure I've got a suitable alternative. If it's too loose. Yeah, I think I'm just going to give up on this and do the engine. think that might work, but yeah, I'm going to complete that off stream, but you get the idea anyway. It's going to be a nice little engine hoist that the engine's going to hang off right next to the car, and should fit in well with the diorama. Right, now how many bits of these do I lose between now and the time I complete that? Let's see if I can actually pick these things up and try and put some back in the bag. I know I've got some small 2mm bolts because that's what I was using to build the dolly. I got a small screw selection, so sure I've got some alternative. Right, that lot can go there, including that. Right, so give up on those. Find the box. As you can see, I haven't even opened this one. I believe this is nothing but engine. Nothing wrong with an old Golf. Nothing wrong with any old Volkswagens, to be fair, in general. Right, all engine parts. Right, let's pull up the instructions, which in theory I do have to hand. He says. Back 2, that's the one. And we want stage 8 to begin with. Right, let's have a look at the first thing we need. Right, so get these parts out. Got some PS01 screws. Get everything out of that one. So let's have a look. Right, so these are marked left and right. We want the one marked R. We want the cover breather pipe, which is not that. Going to be a curved one, it looks like. So I'm going to go with this one. And move it that way round. It's going to set in like that. And we're going to secure that with a PS01 screw. Nice easy start. Can't get the screws out. Oh, come on. short of getting maybe a second pack or something that you could damage the actual vehicle. Not sure. I know Agora did it for this one, where they did the bullet hole decals and things. Maybe someone will do them. That's going to go in there, and again, PSO1 screw. Just going to hold that in place. Right, now we're going to need our cams. Need to make sure 2 pins are facing outwards as shown. So that's got to go in. Is there a left and right on these? Or is it those 2 pins on about? That one's got 3 pins on it. Which 2 pins are they on about? Those ones. Does that push in like that? And presumably like that. And then we just need to put the cylinder covers on top. That doesn't look right. Must be the other way around. Do those the other way around, I think. Oh, to be fair, even if I left these off completely, you probably wouldn't notice. That's better. That's the way they fit in. And then we need to get this one. Nope, that one goes like that. And that one goes like that. And they just push over those lugs or pins that we've just put in. See, at least with those cams, they have a function because they're holding this cam cover on. Unlike the clutch and the Subaru's doing nothing. Right, next we want to build the oil filler. That's going to go like so. And then that'll push in there. So it pushes in all the way. There we go. Definitely a recess for it. It's never going to fall out. I think I'd actually struggle to pull that out now. Right, we need these 2 bits. And they're just going to go in the front of there. They have some tight tolerances. Wow. They're definitely not going to fall out anytime soon. I bet you can get a hammer. Right, it's in. Hey Ian, how are you doing? You'll see I'm starting to make my workbench just the same as yours. I'm a little way off. Alright, what else we got to do? Right, that's stage complete on that one. So we can get rid of that. What stage are we on now? Stage 9. Nine. Right at the bottom. Of course it's right at the bottom. I'm just wondering, like, when you move, do you just move it all as one junk pile? Just scoop it into a box? And then just deposit that said box onto the next workbench? Right, what we got here? PS21 screws. What are we doing? With 6 spark plugs and cut point indicators. Okay. Can I find my screw cutters? I can. And I'm assuming that this go into here. Yeah. They got to be glued in. Are they screwed in? Yeah, you got to screw them in. They could have been a tight press fit. Upping the screw count. Right. This would be the point in the build. Wait, I cut away, and here you go. It's a 6 wheel installed later. Oh, I like to live dangerously. The amount of times that this has almost fallen onto my foot. I've broken quite a few blades actually like that, where they've just landed into the wooden floor and snapped. Usually quick enough to move my feet out of the way. To be fair, I tend to try and leave it on my tablet case, which has got a little recess. But I've just buried that with DB5 parts at the minute, and then I'd be looking for it. Yeah, I can see that it's certainly better than the Eagle Moss one. Oops. I think the Eagle Moss one had these bits installed already. Yeah, just like watching Blue Peter. Thanks, Chris. So normally it lives in a box, which I've lost the box now, and then it rolls around on the workbench. And to be fair, somewhere I've got another one with a bigger handle. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on the workbench. I'm always certain it's somewhere on the workbench. What I need is a key finder on them. You know, you whistle and all your tools whistle back at you. I suppose it'd be better than James Bond having the key ring explode in your pocket when you whistle. Right. Okay, they're all in. Now what? Get the distributor into the cable tube, pushing it in, shape pin into the hole. So that goes into there. Yep, it does. Then what do we need to do? Check the holes in the tube align with the corresponding spark plugs indicated by pairs of coloured arrows. What? Okay, I see. That goes like that, and then this goes in there. Which way around does it go? That way around. I remember having to put that on the older Agora DB5. And I think I had to put this on. Which I think I already had cables coming off it or something. So that's pushed in there. And then we need this. Next Monday, I'll have to check my calendar, but potentially. Why do I think I'm doing something next Monday? I probably can't. I think I'm at a scout meeting next Monday. Right, so do we actually bend these then? Separate the long cable from 5 shorter cables and bend it into a U shape. Separate the longer one. There's a longer one. There's a longer one. That's got to go from there to the first up to there. Do we need to glue these? Or is it just going to hold itself in? Looks like it'll hold itself in. I do. Fit one of the short cables into the next spark plug along, bend the cable. Is it just a case of doing that for each one? Looks like it is. So for each of these, it's going to go into there. Might be easier to go into this one first. And then bend it over into that point. And I think these pliers will be perfect for doing this. Excellent. These pliers are brilliant because they're rounded. So when you've got something to bend, it makes a nice bend as opposed to a flat bend. Like so. I'm assuming that just got to go all the way along. Yeah. See you later, Ed. Yes, I can zoom the camera. Look at that. I'm calling it the mic cam. I was so happy when it turned up on my doorstep. Well, not that I even realised it was on my doorstep. I thought it was just more rubbish that the wife had ordered. It wasn't until I was checking my emails that later on that evening, so the package is still sat in the porch. Got a notification saying that Mike had sent this thing. I was like, Rach, what did you order? Did you order something? Did you even order something? And then quickly went to the porch like, bloody hell. Right, how's this going to bend around there? Got to go something like that, I guess. That might need a bit of glue. Right, so stage complete on that one. So we move on to stage 10. Where's this one? 10 minutes left. Let's see if we can get stage 10 done. Doesn't look like much to do in this one. Yeah, this thing's brilliant. I can pan, tilt. Brilliant. And I don't even think that's as far as I can zoom. I think I can zoom even further. That's maximum zoom. Yeah, fancy camera. Right, PS01 screws. Only got one of those, or two of them technically. But we always get a spare, don't we? So what am I doing? I've got this piece, I've got this piece, and somehow I'm joining them together. That goes there, I believe. Somehow. So that's going to go into that hole. Maybe. Come on. I'm going to go in the hole. No, didn't want to use too much force because I broke it because it's only a plastic part. So with that in there, get the throttle linkage to the main fuel line, pushing the fitted pin into the hole, ensure the linkage to orientate is shown once fitted. Fit the fuel line and 10D, pressing it into the shaped pins. You have not damaged the choke lever. That piece. That's going to go in there. And we need to push that on there. That went easy. Nice and easy. Excellent. Now we need to fit it to this piece. And that's going to go this way around, I think. Double check, have a look. Yeah, that way around. So we've got those pins going into the ends. Got that one going in the center, and I just realized they're actually keyed, so you can't put this in the wrong round. Catering for the idiots. Let me. So it's going to be a PSO1 screw, isn't it? Because it's the only one we got given. And then that's going to go into there. Oh, you get all the fancy stuff then, Ian. Right, so that screw in there. What else do we have? The fuel line connector, which got to be this piece, isn't it? That's going to go into there. Fit the fuel pipe onto the connector. Did I get a fuel pipe? Yes, I did. Almost threw it away with the parts. Fuel pipe on there. And in theory, that's probably the end of that stage. It is. That was a nice quick stage. Oh, the next stage is even quicker. Let's do that one as well then. Right, so all we're doing is fitting this piece onto this piece. Which way around am I saying it? Around? And then we've got DS01 screws, 3 of them to go into there. Well done with screwdriver. Maybe a total studio. I do. Full studio, full camera, so 20 different camera angles. You want a close up? You want a close up this side? You want a close up that side? Yes, this will hopefully be at Telford. It better be anyway. It's for Agora models. They've given me the car. I've got to come through the goods now. But I've got this little thing. So I've got an engine hoist now. Well, half an engine hoist. I think some parts were missing. Or confusing. I'm not sure which. Let me just have a quick look at the next stage to see if it's got another quick stage at all. Probably won't be. No, next stage is a little bit more complex. So I'll leave it there. I'll probably do more of this before next week. But if you missed the beginning of the stream, if I zoom out, there's presets as well, so I can zoom out to the same position, everything. Brilliant. So this is the little paint dolly that I've created, or part of it. It's going to have these little casters on it. These are probably the better ones. So they will go in to the ends of here. I did contemplate making them swivel and do all sorts, but I thought, no, it's going to be a static model. It's going to stay where it is. It's got enough moving parts as it is. But the idea is that those will go down into, they can be up and go up and down, etc. And it'll fit any car. Well, that's the idea anyway. That's the body, not on the chassis frame. Right, I'm blaming Todd. Todd said there was going to be problems with the body and the chassis. Right, now it's stuck there. Can you believe it? How has that got stuck? There we go. Right, so let's put that back how it was. Right. So the idea is that that will basically support the axles. But if you don't have axles, those points can move up and down, and you can level the car out and everything. So pretty good. But still got a little bit more work to do on that. But anyway, I'm going to switch cameras and wish you all a good night. Right, so I think we've done pretty well. Got part of the engine done. I would have liked to have done more of that, and I had not realised how complex that was going to be to assemble. So I will assemble that again off screen. So next time you see that, will be assembled, and I might even have most of the engine assembled. But the dolly will progress as well. So next time you see that, it might have some paint on it. Probably not going to be doing anything for the rest of the week, mainly because I'm off to London tomorrow. And no, I'm not going to go see Trump. But I am going to be in London at the same time as him. And I'm coming back on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything over the weekend, but we shall see. Time is now ticking on, and I really do need to get this done. And hopefully, over the course of the weekend, Mike will hopefully be laser cutting the large wall sections, and then I can get those painted. And once that's done and assembled, that's going to be the massive part of the diorama done. I am still assembling. Where are they? You would have probably seen in the thumbnails. This is the start of the shelving, so I'm going to have a couple of those. And on that shelving is going to be all the little Easter eggs and things. And also, along with that, some parts of the Aston Martin. So the idea is I'm going to put the headlights in, I'm going to put the grille in, but what I want to try and do is put the headlights in without the miniguns. So the miniguns can be sat on the shelf, like they're ready to sort of be installed. And there's going to be a couple of other bits on the shelving, etc. Again, from the car, maybe some of the wheels. I probably won't do the spoked wheels. Just as a diorama, I'm probably going to use the easy fit wheels and put a couple of those in the corner, or potentially even use something like this, like a tire rack. But I don't know whether that will fit in nicely in the diorama or not. So we shall see on that one. So I might just end up piling them up in the corner. But all that's going to be dressing. The main thing is going to be getting all the walls done and the roofing and a little bit of lighting. So I'm going to put a couple of LEDs in for a couple of little bulkhead lights. So it will be illuminated as well. So should be pretty good. And I've only got just over a month to do it. So wish me luck. You might find it's going to appear a little bit more on the next few Tinker and Talk Tuesdays. So hopefully you can join me again. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you around. Cheers.